Hey friends, welcome to the Links to Messiah podcast. My name's Rachel Kushner, and this is where we explore the Jewish roots of our faith and create family traditions that point straight to Jesus. Let's get started. Welcome back to our Shabbat table. This is the place where we slow our pace and remember what matters the most. Just a quick note for families listening together. In the next few minutes, I will be sharing tenderly about the loss of our adult son. I'm not going to go into any details, but if you have young children, I want you to listen first and then decide what you think is best for your family. Okay, so with that, today we are continuing our Heroes of Faith episodes. So far, we've learned about Sarah and Deborah, and today we are diving into David, and I think you're going to love it. In Hebrew, David means beloved or beloved. Before he was king, before he defeated a giant, before anybody sang songs about him, he was beloved. And that changes how we read this story. So let's just do a real quick overview about David. David was the youngest son. He was forgotten in the field. When the prophet Samuel came looking for the next king, David wasn't even in the lineup. He was out in the field. His father didn't think that he was the obvious choice, but God saw him. Scripture tells us that man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. David learned to trust God in the quiet. Watching sheep, he was fighting lions and fighting bears and singing psalms under the stars. No applause, no audience, pure faithfulness. That is where heroes are formed. So when Goliath stepped forward, everybody stepped back. But David remembered something. He remembered what God had already done. The same God who had rescued him from the lion and the bear would rescue him again. And David ran toward that giant. That is faith. Not the absence of fear, but movement toward obedience. I am learning so much from David. David was not perfect. He sinned, he failed, he grieved. But when he sinned, he repented. And when he was afraid, he prayed. When he was rescued, he worshiped. That is why Scripture calls him a man after God's own heart. And boy, has that affected me. As you can hear, my voice is very shaky because I'm on the verge of tears. And this keeps happening every time I record a podcast. God does something inside of my heart. So I am reminded, and I'm here to remind you, that David wasn't perfect. He sinned, he failed, he grieved, but when he sinned, he repented. When he was afraid, he prayed. When he was rescued, he worshiped. He was beloved, and he lived from that place. And now I want to share something tender. David is not just a biblical hero to me. David is also the name of our son. For generations in my family, the name David was waiting. I was supposed to be named David, and so was my sister. And the next sister after that, 3 girls, no David yet. And then I was the first of the 3 daughters to have a boy. We finally had our David. My parents were so happy. It felt like something sacred had come full circle. This name carried with it hope, finally resting on a child. David means beloved. And oh, how we loved him. There just are not words strong enough to express the love a parent feels for their child. And there are no words deep enough for the grief when that child is no longer here. Losing our son David has been indeed the deepest sorrow of my life. It's very raw, it's very tender, and it is ongoing. There are days when the grief feels like this giant just standing in front of me. But here's what I keep coming back to. Before David the shepherd defeated that giant, he was beloved. Before my son David did anything in this world, he was beloved. Before he breathed his first breath, before he took his first step, before he spoke his first word, he was beloved, and he still is. The name reminds me that identity comes before achievement, love comes before victory, belonging before bravery. David in the Bible ran toward his giant because he knew the Lord was with him. I do not run towards grief because I'm strong. I move forward because the Lord is with me. The battle belongs to him. If you are listening today and you have your own giant, maybe it's fear or loss or sickness, anxiety, heartbreak. I could go on and on. I want you to hear this. You are beloved. Your child is beloved. Your story is seen. God sees the field that you are standing in. He sees your quiet obedience. He sees the hidden tears. And he hears the prayers that you whisper when it feels like nobody else is listening. Heroes of our faith are not people who avoid pain. These people cling to God inside of the pain. David the shepherd points us to Jesus, the greater shepherd king. At Jesus' baptism, the Father said, "This is my beloved Son." Beloved, before miracles, before the cross, before resurrection. And because of Jesus, death does not have the final word. That is the hope that I cling to. The love that is stronger than the grave. The love that, beloved, is an eternal identity. So as we go through this unit with our children and we teach them about courage and giants and faith, I want us to remember something deeper. We are raising children who are beloved, and we are becoming parents who live from that same truth. Identity before accomplishment. And because of Jesus, love is stronger than death. And that is the hope that I cling to. As we study David deeper together, I hope you don't just see a shepherd or a king. I hope that you see a reminder. You are seen in your quiet places. You are known in your hidden battles. You are loved before you prove anything. David, may that word settle over your home this week. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to head over to linkstomessiah.com, where we have a lot of free resources, seasonal boxes, and an ever-growing digital library. We are here to help your family connect with the Jewish roots of our faith and the Messiah, Jesus.